Hey Virgos, how y'all doing? Welcome. We're going to be doing your very general reading here. So, I almost want to call this reading because I just did a meditation for y'all. And I want to call this the time of Virgo. I mean, even though it's Aquarius season, it's really interesting. Half side note, Aquarius energy and Virgo energy go together like peanut butter and chocolate to me, which is to say very well. There's sort of a balance that comes into play when you get a Virgo and Aquarius together because Virgo, I guess, again, I know not every Virgo is the same, but for the most part, Virgos are known for their love of order and clarity and consistency and reliability and promptness and organizational skill and all of these things that make them amazing, right? You definitely want a Virgo on your side, definitely, right? Aquarians, on the other hand, it's interesting because they are a fixed sign. So Aquarians love, freedom and not having a set schedule and kind of living in the question and being able to roam on their own and not necessarily have to call in at a certain time. But on the flip side of that, being a fixed sign, there is this deep appreciation for what having a schedule can do, meaning if you have a box within which to play, there is much freedom. Like, give me a script and then I'm going to play within it, right? So it's an interesting dichotomy there, but it's also why I feel like Virgos and Aquarians work really well together because they each have what the other one, needs or desires. So it's really cool. They make wonderful friends and work companions as well. It's great. So I feel like that's coming into play for you because, yes, it is Aquarius season, but I was taken right to the newsroom. So I don't remember what the newspaper's called, but it's the newspaper from Superman. And I was seeing like Clark Kent and Lois Lane, and I was seeing Virgos as Superman. Now, I know Superwoman, we're all inclusive, all that good stuff. But for the sake of the example, I was seeing like Time of the Virgo, and I was seeing this old typewriter and writing out this newspaper headline that said, hey, it's the time of the Virgo. And I saw the Virgo collective rise up like as Superman or Superwoman, just everything sort of lining up in this beautiful way. And I want to tell you why. So I was shown that in this age of Aquarius that we're going to, Virgos have been having to work with amidst their love of order and consistency and patterns and reliability and set, right? None of that has had a place in me. All of that went out the window. Yeah? Okay. So with the Virgo, did you just hear that car horn? I was like, yep, boop. So with that, I feel like what it is now is as we venture into the age of Aquarius, there is a clearance. There is a change. A lot of that stuff is being cleared up. Like I see the Virgos coming in and going like, okay, let's get in order. Because I heard the song, I want to say it's by Missy Elliott, but I really don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you know who this song is by. It's like, let me see you 1-2 step. Let me see you 1-2 step. Get on the floor. Something like that. But it was very much Virgo being an empowered place. I just saw 3. This goes here, that goes there. Okay, this time. Like it's a beautiful coming into order. I also see things lining up for you in such a beautiful way that your patience is really paying off. And I'm completely obsessed with that for you. I cannot tell you how good it feels. It's the time of the Virgo. We got the crow here, which is absolutely no surprise. Considering everything that I just said, I said it's the time of Virgo, then you get the crow, and this is the crow tarot, and I'm Lady Crow, and it's all lining up for you. I'm here for it. So the crow, which is really interesting, the crow is about news, and I saw the newsroom, right? News, messages, synchronicities. I equate this with the number 5 as well. We also are in a 5-year, which is the number of change. But the crow is also about using your voice and speaking up when there is something that is out of accordance, out of balance, or something that needs to be given attention. So this is very much about the throat chakra and using your voice. Now, the crow also equates to, while I do consider the crow to be masculine energy because they're very forward. If you've ever been around crows, you might have noticed this. They are not shy. They are not shy at all to caw and caw all up in your face and come and jump on your car and look you dead in the eye. They're very forward, very boisterous, very vocal, right? However, the crow in terms of energy is very much a feminine energy in terms of how it relates to the high priestess energy. The high priestess, which is all about, connecting in and tuning into your inner wisdom and true sight. True seeing, true sight, and using your words and being heard, knowing which words to say at the right time. Which I feel like equates to you, Virgo, for knowing which jobs to apply for at the right time and exactly what to say when you're in the interview. Knowing which relationships to give more time to and know exactly what to say when something comes up that needs to be addressed. Same with family. It's like you are just on point for sure. And I really, 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 I keep seeing this image of the way is clear. The way is clear. There was just a lot of clutter. Virgos don't like clutter. There's a lot of clutter. And now it just feels like you're in here Marie Kondoing, but not just for you. Like in general, like in bigger ways. It's like you get hired somewhere and you organize everything to where they're like, oh God, what did I do without you? Or you're making friends, or your friends are appreciating you in a new way. So you're like, oh God, like you're helping me make sense of this. I feel like there's this large energy for you where people are going to be very drawn to you. I do feel like you're going to want to be more outspoken, more in the public eye, posting more on social media, or putting yourself out there more, which is really beautiful. Go with that. Because it feels like a good energy, okay? Like you are the hermit, but it feels like you want to be out there for this month, and that feels really, really beautiful. In another context, I feel like, this is just people being drawn to you and being like, whoa, I really, your advice is what I need right now. Your perspective is what I need right now. You might even be hearing from people you haven't heard from in a while, or finding that offers or opportunities or recommendations, I just heard recommendations, kind of fall into your lap, air quote. Right? So it's really cool. So you have the devil here as your first energy, which is really cool to me because this is your fellow earth sign of Capricorn, which speaks of everything of the 3D, the devil here, everything that you can see, touch, and feel, right? And we're talking about Marie Kondoing, and there's a path being cleared, and I want to draw your attention. This is a little graphic, but let's go with it. You see how this bunny has been slayed by this lynx here? I feel like for you, this is a representation of your fear, right? I feel like there is a surpassing of your fear where it's in the past. This is, it feels like you're really coming into an energy where you're like, I'm feeling like being out there. I'm feeling like taking risks, taking chance, being heard, applying, showing work to people for some of you, where otherwise you might have been, a bit shy around that. But it feels like you're going from a place of introspection and introversion to, kind of the opposite, but in a more balanced way. And it's really, really beautiful. Really, really beautiful. But I'm getting physical affairs in order, right? And I feel like you're helping others as well. It's really cool. But your attention and focus does seem to be, it's like you're turning inward, but not as the hermit that you are, but it's rather you're operating from a place of feeling and insight and knowing. And that's really beautiful. And it's translating into action, which is really cool. I keep hearing it. I'm putting myself out there. It's cool. I'm putting myself out there. So you have the Two of Wands here, which is really beautiful. So Two of Wands, remember the wands rule the actions that we take. And this whole thing has felt very action-packed. So with the Two of Wands here, this very much speaks of building your blueprint and getting your I's dotted and your T's crossed, knowing exactly where you want to go, routing the, trip out beforehand, knowing when you're going to stop off on the side of the road and knowing when you're going to go here and do I want to take the scenic route here? Or do I want to take the short route here? This is organization, honey. This is organization and planning, and I really like it for you. I really do. I'm hearing also inner movement and stillness, and it's like you're accruing a lot of power and energy. It's like that there's, it's like a high vibration for you guys, and I rather like it. And then you just got the most positive key in the whole deck, which is no surprise either. So this is the sun. Hello and goodbye. This is the most positive. So let's talk about this. So first of all, the sun is a masculine energy. Traditionally speaking, this is happiness. This is joy. This is enlightenment. This is clarity. This is calm and peace, right? But I want to talk about Limas. Limas. So Lima medicine is about allowing your heart and your head to work in tandem so that your responses and your perspective are of balance. And I feel like that's what this is for you. I feel like that is the true victory coming, because remember, it's the third position, right? I feel like that's going to be the results, right? Based on the choices that you make with the current given energy, darling, right? Is that you're moving into a place of balance where you're not just truly content with where you are, but you feel like your head and your heart are, playing well together. And balanced, honey. Balanced. I also feel like with this black and white, and then I'm really drawn to the fact of like the gray and the being in the middle. And then we have those two traps in the middle ground as well. It just feels like the key word for you this month as well is balance, perspective. What is that word that I'm looking for? Ease. Being at ease. This is so beautiful, Virgo. Why do I feel like this has been a long time coming? Okay, Devil. Here's the thing. I feel like there's an aspect of you surrendering what you can't control. You surrendering, it's like, you know what? I can't change this person. I can't change, A, B, C, X, Y, Z. But I can change my response and not reaction to it. I can give less time to this and more time over here. Right? Interesting. Wow. So we have I'm really obsessed because this is just what I said. So 8 of Swords. This is about a lot of mental tension. This is analysis paralysis. This is the energy you're coming out of, right? Is the primary position here. So 8 of Swords, what do we say about this? This is that, prison to which only you hold the key, right? Again, this is analysis paralysis. But remember what I said about the bunny? About how you are slaying your fear and moving ahead? Remember how I said how it feels like the path is clear, the way is forward after a lot of clutter? This is where you're coming from. This is like I've chewed right through these bindings and I'm moving on forward. But this is just a little deeper than that. Like I said, it's like you've acknowledged the fear and moved through it anyway, and you're just moving forward. And you may not know what comes next, but you do know that you're going to be able to handle it. And that is power. That's power. 2 wands. The Hermit, it's you. Hello. So Virgo energy here with the Hermit, you don't say. So this is very much what we were talking about with the 2 of Wands, about planning and understanding like what you want and where you go, where you want to go. So you're coming from a place of preparedness and clear vision, right? Now, what I'm really obsessed with too is how the Hermit is shown here. So you know that the light in the Hermit's lantern is the star from the star key, which is Aquarius energy, right? I've been talking all about how Aquarius and Virgo go together like peanut butter and chocolate. Right? I'm really feeling this. I really like it too that you have 2 oceans here as well. When I think about oceans, they do represent the unknown, but they also speak of the cleansing effect of salt and how salt can remove from you energetically or physically, can soothe, aching muscles. Salt is very medicinal, right? Can also, free you of any energy that's not yours, especially empaths watching this. But I really feel like you were coming from a place of, because again, with the Superman, with the light and the lamp, it's very beautiful. I do feel like you're coming from a place of, I'm quite sure of what I want and where I'm going. And I don't need to know exactly how it's going to happen or play out to have a sort of line of action in place, a course of action, I want to say, right? Because I at least got to know where I want to go. I may not be able to control what happens along the way or in what time it unfolds, but I am clear. I do have clarity post-clutter. I'm really obsessed too that he's shown as a octopus here with these octopus. So octopus for me is very 9 of Cups energy, which is wish fulfillment. This is where you're going towards with one tentacle in front of the other. But I'm obsessed. I love this. I love this so much for you. The Sun. The Hermit is also very much about, as you likely know, about going inward for guidance and inspiration and knowing that you have the answers that you seek. You and you alone. Truthfully. God, it's so good, especially for Virgos. So King of Pentacles, you're showing up here in your highest masculine form with the Sun, which is another masculine energy. King of Pentacles is so filthy rich. King of Pentacles asks the question, tagline for the King of Pentacles is, what would I do if time and money were no object? That's what the King of Pentacles is coming for to ask you. If time and money were no object, what would you do? Where would you go? And allow that to be a jumping off point for you. Where it's like, would I be doing the work I'm doing now? Would I be living where I'm living now? Would I be engaging in the same routine as I am now? Really ask yourself that. I feel like it's going to be very like the sun, very illuminating for you. And because it does feel like you're in a strong place of manifestation, because the crow is also about manifestation, hardcore, synchronicities, repeating numbers, signs and symbols and messages. And whenever the crow comes forward, there's going to be a lot of signs, symbols, and messages there for you. It's just about you being open to seeing them and being aware of them, right? So it's interesting with this King of Pentacles here as well. Like, I don't know if you could have shown up in this third position in a more empowered way. Superman, Superwoman, Super Virgos, right? I'm hearing starlight, star bright, on this star I see tonight. I wish I'm on the star that shines so bright. You know, within that question of what would I do if time and money were no object, I feel like there is an aspect of, since you are in a place of manifestation, it's not just about being careful what you wish for, but not wishing practically, right? Allow yourself, and this isn't the point of this, is it to go, do this and then, it's going to happen just like that. No, it's about giving yourself the needed information of a point of clarity and perspective, right? Are you making choices from a place of practicality, or are you making choices from a place of faith and belief that you can have exactly what you want, right? As it is in accordance with divine timing and your highest and best good, of course. Because when I say you can have exactly what you want, I'm not talking about your egoic self. That's not what I mean. I mean your higher self. The aspect of you that knows exactly what is best for the soul lessons that you are here to learn, honey. And is not as interested as the amount of money that's in your bank account, or the block that you live on, or the promotion at work, or whatever have you. The higher aspect of yourself, the true hermit within you, right? That has access to the star, that has access to that information that goes, okay, in terms of soul lessons that I'm here to learn, in terms of soul evolution, because I do believe, honeys, that is why we're here, for the purpose of soul evolution. This is school. This is the school of life. And we're down here to evolve our souls. So within the context of soul evolution, what is of highest and best good? If we come at it from that perspective, suddenly things can become a lot more clear, right? And take on a different context. And that's really, really beautiful with the sun. I feel like this is also a deeper meaning in terms of how this is shown, like in this deck. This is underwater creature, right? Under the sea. And then we have this light. And I feel like there's this energy too of really allowing yourself to sit into and excavate your own emotional core. Excavate your own emotional core. Now, I know that does not sound fun. I hear you. I'm an Aquarius, okay? I hear that. I do. It doesn't sound fun. What do you mean excavate my emotional core? What do you mean? I mean, be very, very honest about the emotions that you feel and have felt. Acknowledge your pain, acknowledge your disappointment, acknowledge your fear, right? Give it time and attention. Bring it out into the light so that it is not working on you subconsciously and subconsciously affecting the choices that you make. Give it that time and attention and go, okay, what is going on here? What needs to be processed? What needs to be cleared? What needs to be brought into the light of day, right? So that I am coming from a place of healing, right? And, conscientious based choices, right? We never want our past and our past pains and disappointment to be subconsciously affecting our choices. AKA, we don't want to make choices from fear, right? We want to make choices from love and divine faith, right? That's what yields the dream. That's what yields the abundance. That's what yields the feel goods, right? I'm so obsessed that you're coming up in your third position in such a place of empowerment. King of Pentacles and the sun, are you kidding? I'm also hearing to go back to the fact that this is such a masculine energy, Virgo. And again, it doesn't matter if you're male or female or, it's energy, right? So I feel like the fact that you're coming up in such a masculine form is another note that this is a time of forward movement, action, mindfulness, and the fact that it's being mixed with this high priestess, which is also about receptivity, inverting into self, same with hermit. I feel like when we talk about the balance and the mind and the heart working together in tandem, I feel like that's really important. Again, back to the Two of Wands is number 2. With this balance as well, right? So what does that look like in practical terms? What's the practical magic, to quote one of my favorite movies and books, right? How is this practical? How can you practicalize this for me, right? Because sometimes it can all come out as very like, like, oh, these are great ideas. I need an ABC and a 1, 2, 3. I need a step system. I need instructions. So a good example of how to work with these energies, right, is to take up a meditation practice, honey. Take up a meditation practice. For some of you guys, that could be just taking a quiet walk in the morning before things get really busy. Your day gets busy or your city gets busy or whatever else, right? The morning time can be very sacred because if you get to it early enough or even late at night, do you, right? Whatever time this is for you. This could be lunchtime, whatever. Taking a mindful walk where you allow for space, where you go, whatever comes into this space can come into this space. You know what's not going to be in this space? The work I have to do for the day. What I'm doing for lunch. What brother said to me yesterday that her feet, well, maybe if that wants to come up, but this is allowing a blank space, right? Whether this is a walk in the morning or taking up a meditation practice every day at lunchtime. That is enacting the high priestess. And it's order to do so that you can get clear, right, on what's underneath the surface and align yourself through action as to what that is. You're going inward for answers and then taking action around it. Does that make sense? Let's get an oracle. I shall shuffle first. Let's get an oracle. Y'all, I'm using a new deck. I don't know if you noticed. This new deck is the Mermaid Tarot by Lisa Robertson, which is the same maker of the Animal Totem Tarot. Come here. With this right here. So this is a new oracle deck as well that I'm really obsessed with. And I feel like, the newness, there really is this overall energy of new. It's really, really beautiful. Okay. All right. Oracle for the Virgos for February. Ooh. Oh my God. Whoa. Y'all. Okay. So you have the number 9, which is the number of the Hermit. Hello. So you've got Volcano's power. I mean, are we just going to continue on this theme of masculine energy and action and fire and Superman and all of this good stuff and Superwoman, all of this stuff? This is so beautiful. How many times have I said empowerment and all of this good stuff? This is you very just put beautifully, tied up in a knot and a bow in such a beautiful way. Now, you also got with this, which is actually really cool. So you got Fury bushfires, right? This indigenous woman and the Polaroid, right? The kangaroo. Now, I want to talk to you about this because this is really cool how this is coming to light. Remember how we were talking about going inward to get the information and then taking it to a place of action? Do you remember at first we were talking about fighting through that fear and releasing whatever wants or needs to be released, releasing what you can't control? Stop trying to move a mountain. It's like if anyone's familiar with the myth of Sisyphus, the Greek myth of Sisyphus, right? Sisyphus was cursed to roll this big boulder up this hill every day, only to have it roll down again and then roll it back up the next day and then have it roll down again. I feel like some of you guys have been, maybe ask yourself, in what ways have you been playing Sisyphus in your life up till now? If any, right? Have I been being Sisyphus with my parents? We have different political views or we have different outlooks, and I just play Sisyphus by keep trying to put forth a stance about how I see things and nothing ever changes. Have I been Sisyphus with work where I keep expecting the boss to treat me better, communicate better, but they never do, and I keep expecting the same thing? How have you been Sisyphus? Or with yourself? I want to, live a healthy lifestyle, but I keep on self-sabotaging myself because I no shade, I understand, but I turn to food as a comfort and ends up keeping me from what I really want, which is, a healthy living. I want to be operating at full capacity, whatever that is for you. And what ways have you been Sisyphus? Letting it go, letting it burn, right? And as a result, coming into a place of power where you're the magician of your own destiny. You are coming from a place of conscientious, I can't say that word, conscientious thought and purposeful action, right? Look at you. So obsessed with this. At the end of the day, you are the crow for February. I'm also realizing too, and I missed this, where in your opening meditation, I had seen Superman, right? And this is a winged creature too, as there's crow and bird, right? So with winged creatures and with flying, right, there's a certain perspective that comes from that as well. And I feel like you are being invited to be an air sign during this time as well. It is Aquarius season, so you do have that energy very much working in your favor, where you can observe your experience, right? Observe your experience, observe where you are responding or observe where you're reacting as opposed to responding in terms of being Sisyphus, right? Observe your experiences. And from that place, you can make edits. And I know as a Virgo, you're going to be feeling that. Edits. Ooh, edits. Right? From a place of observation, you can make edits, right? And what animal medicine is this that I'm thinking of? Oh, is it panda? I can't remember. But there's an animal medicine that says when I practice self-observation, self-growth is imminent. And I feel like that is so on point for you. When I practice self-observation, self-growth is imminent. Boom. All right, Virgos, I'm obsessed with your January, honeys. Definitely let me know. I so hope that this helps and resonates. Please let me know in the comments below. I absolutely love that. And with that being said, just thank you. Thank you guys so much for being here. And as always, and most of all, thank you for being you. And be well. Until next time.